So I'm going to use my black brow wax to do this one. So I see people use edge control. For today we're not doing that, we're doing this one. So we're pulling it up. Some of us have really bushy brows, so it's more like trying to flatten your brows. But some people that have bushy brows like myself, yeah, you keep brushing until it stays. I like to use the to press it down. Now after doing that, you see that your brows are, once it is this way, please, if you can leave it alone, once you get what you want, once your brows are flat enough, once you're done pressing, and it's okay. So this is me with just pressed brows. So after doing that, you want to go with, I am a brow gel person more than I am a brow gel person more than I am a pencil person. So I'm going to use brow gel for this look. So I like to go with my two colored brow gel. Can't remember the name of this product, but it's two colored. The dark one is what I'll use first. I'll come down here and just gently put that in. Now for this look, I want to have high brows. Yes, I like to have high brows when I'm doing this look. So I'm not bringing my brows down by any chance. I want to make it lifted, and I will tell you why later. Hopefully I remember. So the same thing here. You see, once you have something in mind to do, the idea is to follow whatever it is that is on your mind. That way you make it easier to do everything. So like once I'm done crafting that out, I like to go in with a lighter brown, just because I do not like sometimes I prefer to use a lighter shade on my brows. That's because the hair on my head is usually not so dark. So I don't know why I have two shades, brown on my head, black on my eye and lashes. So this is just to fill the empty spots, yeah. And for me, it is more like reducing the pigment of the black. When I go in, you see where I'm putting it, right? Just all these spots that just that way. Now remember, you're trying to make them look the same, so you have to, compare both. while you're doing it, and be sure you're doing both of them to look like sisters at least, not neighbors, you know. So back with my dark brown. This I use mostly for the edges because the edge of my brows are not as thick as the beginning. So once I've gotten my brows to this size, that is the size that I like. You could do smaller, you could do bigger. For me, this is my size. Now I do not want to do really big. I just want to look made up and good, you know, but not, you know, over glammed and all that. So I'll be going with my concealer that is not far away from my shade to do that. Now I'm going to use this concealer because, number one, I'll use it for the top and the bottom, not because and I will show you how I will do that. I do not want people, concealer is easier when it is, you know, blended right, but not when you're using so much concealer. If you're using so much concealer to do this, excuse me, you're going to end up looking like a masquerade, or at least not in trend. Let me use that word. Maybe not like a masquerade, but not with what is going on around the world right now. You're going to look like you came from the past and you busted into the future. So while you do that, you now tap it off. Make sure you use the smallest minimal amount. I like to wipe off, then do this. Did you see? I wiped it off at the edge here, then I will go in and do that. Now why I am doing this is because for this look I want to have a raised brow. I want to have like the look of someone whose brows are, you know, high, like you have a really, you know, high brow and snatched face. So this is not necessary. This is not necessary, but I just do it sometimes. Okay, that is not necessary. Then that. Now I go on my concealer. This is what I am doing. This is where the concealer is, right? I tap it off just on my skin. I tap that until I know there's barely nothing on it. Then I come right on top of where my brows are and do that. Just clean the sponge off. And I will keep doing that. Okay? Mind you, the concealer I used, maybe it is not showing that way. Oh, sorry. Maybe it is not showing that way on the camera, but it is barely anything. It is almost my skin shade, but a little lighter. Now I come here and wipe off excess, right, until I get the look I am going for my brows. Yeah, The same thing, you tap a little and you clean it off. This way you spread it on the brush evenly, so it is going to look even. Now don't mind my brush, it is not the one to use, so this is what I do. So there I go, but I don't want to block the camera, so I'm going to do it from above my head. Mind you, I just want to do the same tap, just a little bit more, and drag it down to join the lower one. Then you wipe off the excess. Yeah, you do that until they are on the same part. You see that? So now I clean off, or at least attempt to blend the top into my skin. Okay, now mind you, I am one of the people who do not do their brows first. Yeah, I'm one of the people who do not do their brows first. So but for this video, I'm doing it first. So that the same concealer, or if you have the lighter shade, you can put it on there. So I apply my concealer on my lid. All this I do last, not first. The same concealer you take and apply on your lid, or if you have an eye primer, that is more is better than doing what I am doing right now. This is stressful, if you ask me. So once I'm done with that, you can either go in with your concealer brush and tap it in. Yeah, just to make sure it is all in. Then I come here and spread that out as much as I can. Yeah, and spread it, spread it, spread it, spread it. Yeah, and spread it and spread it and spread it. Now, after doing that, I like to go in with my sponge, not to do anything so much again. I pick up my translucent powder or setting powder, whatever, and set the entire eyelid. Now I'm doing this majorly because the look I am going for is supposed to be like a nude kind of look, right? So I want it to be as clean as possible. Two, you want a dry base for your eyeshadow so it doesn't move. You want your eyeshadow to stay on a dry base, not concealer directly. So this I will do and do that. So once I am done concealing that, I will go in with my eyeshadow. Now for my eyeshadow look, I want to do for my eyeshadow look, I'm not going to be doing so much eyeshadow work for this, right? First, I will go in with a very neutral shadow for this, and by neutral, I'm going in with this first. So that I'm just going to put all over all over everywhere. After doing that, I will go on with my middle shade, and for my middle shade I will be using I will be using kind of like a very subtle brown. This one here, yeah, I'll be using that brown. Remember to always dust it so you don't surprise yourself when you apply the product on your face. So for this, I am just going to stand on one spot, then flip back and forth, then go back to the same spot and do that. Now the shadow is there, you see, even if I'm not picking so much, I don't want to pick too much. So round, go round motion, back and forth, round, back and forth, round, back and forth, round. You keep doing that until you get that shade. Now for the sake of the camera, I'm going to do this one, the darkest brown there is on this palette, just because I want it to be more obvious than what I am seeing on the camera now. So this I will do. It is dark on my mirror here, but not on the camera. So I will do that, round it. Now the shade is showing more there. So that is what I will do, and round it. I just want it on one spot. At least I'm trying to create my crease, so I just wanted to, and that's one spot. Once I've gotten what I want with that, now some people might decide, oh, I want it darker than that. The same brush I will advise, because the round brush is supposed to help you make it blend. It's more like a blending look. So for this one, you have to use a round fluffy brush, small eyeshadow round fluffy brush. Then you pick up the black. The black you're picking shouldn't be so much. Now I'll come down to this part of my eye and apply that there. You see? And apply that there. Meanwhile, I am pushing it into the crease, but not fully into my crease. Right? You see that? I'm pushing it into my crease, but if you notice, there is a shadow here, but this is where I'm working with. That is where I'm working at. So you do that. Meanwhile, you're pushing it up into that to make the brown and the black blend. By the time you keep doing that, the black will be exhausted. So you use the same brush to just make sure the whole thing is rounded there. Okay, the same thing to the other eye. Very lightly, please do not pick up heavy pigments with your brush. You will never ever like the outcome. You are supposed to build your look, build your shadow. Keep doing that until you get what you want. Now for me, after I'm done blending this, I'm getting the look that I want, I can go in with this shadow, with this and a mixture of that, just these two. Mind you, gently tap, maybe twice, go back, forth, back, forth, back, forth. Then you dust off. You come on top of the where you have the brown up here, where your brown is ending, and you apply that there. Just gently tapping. If you put too much, you might not know when you're overdoing it. Mind you, I like to use the same brush that I'm using for this, because I don't want the colors to just be random. Okay, so up there where that is, you do that there. Then you blend it. Now it is not supposed to be highly pigmented. I do not want it to be highly pigmented. I just want very, very subtle look there. You can build if you wanted to. So that is how you keep doing it, and you will see there is no heavy line there. So that is what you will do. Okay, you do that on the other eye too. Do that on the other eye. Yeah, once you're done doing it on both, now I would say your eye, you can leave it at that. All right, I would not push anybody to do extra. You can leave it at that. If you want, I will go in with this shade here. This one, it's not white. It's showing that it's white, but it is not white. It's more like off-white, creamy. Yeah, I do that with that, and just underneath my brow there, just there, to increase the highlight. Just there. Go with the second one, just there, to increase the highlights of it. Yeah, that is where my look, that is the eyeshadow look for me. This is what I want to do. So for this, I am one of those girls that like I use the kajal. This, I know it's not for everybody, but this is big for me. So I like to do that outside camera because of people. Okay, so I'm done using this on my eye. You can see the black line. I like to water my darken my waterline because I have big eyeballs. You can all see it, so it makes it smaller for we that have big eyeballs. You do that to make your eye look more, smaller. So now I am going to line my eyes. I like to do this. It's either you take it from where your waterline ends this way, or you come this way. Anyway you choose, but now you're going to go in the direction of where your brow is, your brow ends. Okay, you bring the first stroke down to the waterline that way, then extend the stroke, go halfway. That's how I like to do my own. I'll extend the stroke halfway. After extending the stroke halfway, I come to the front and extend. Just make sure I am directly on my lash. Now, everybody has the way they do theirs, right? Any way you know you're comfortable, just do it. The idea is to make sure you line your eyes. For this look, I want to have thick line. So this is why I'm making it this thick. So I'm sure you can see the difference with my eyes. See this one, see that one. So depending, I want to go for the cat's eye look. That's why you see this one I went this way, this one I'm going like this, because that's the way I am comfortable with doing mine. I bring it first to the line. Yeah, I bring it first to my line as much as I want, so then I take it halfway, fill that up. Now there are days when this is where I like my eyes to be. This is the way I want my own look to be for that day, this way. So, but not every time. Today, this is the way I want it. So now, remember, you're just putting it on the bottom of the lash. You have to try to do that as best as you can. Then make sure I like to straighten that out. Yeah. So after doing that, this is not all that I do for my lash when I want to, you know, go neutral and all that. I like to pick up a little shimmer, right? And that's part of the reason why my makeup is always last. So I'm going to do the rest of my eyes when I'm done with prepping my face. So for my face, I use I would use, you probably have primed your face before starting. If you've not, you prime your face, okay? So after priming it, I do that. Basically 2 pumps. This is a tutorial video, please. And I do not use so much product on my face when I work, when I deal even with people. I do not enjoy using so much. Well, it depends on the face you're dealing with. As you can see, my face does not have a lot of pigmentation and all that, so there's basically no need to do so much. Remember, when you're doing all this, you need to find out your shade. You need to find out your shade, because that's what you're dealing with. You need to find out your skin type, because you would also be dealing with different skin types, and if your foundation does not go well with your skin type, your makeup will be a mess. People like to apply certain powder while doing this. Yes, if you want, it's good. All right, it's good. This video is just showing, it's just for training purposes, okay? I am not going anywhere with this look, okay? So I'm just training. I'm just, you know, showing people how to do it. I'm not training for it. Now you can use your wet sponge. If your sponge is not wet, if your sponge is, you can use, I like to use wet sponge is when I want to blend. Good. If I feel my foundation is too much or a product is too much, you use your dry sponge. This is the sponge I use for my eye. You use a dry sponge and that way you will pick. That is what I like to use my dry sponge for. I pick up the excess. I just tap that and you will see the colors. You see the foundation going off. I pick up the excess on my face with a dry sponge. That is what I use my own dry sponge for. But people do with a wet sponge. So now I'm going back in with my concealer. And this is the last of the early product that I'm using. This is the rest of it. So I'm putting here, here. Mind you, if you remember, there is no foundation on this part of my face, not at all. That's because I tend to oil, you know, throw in oils and all that. That's where it comes from. And because I don't have too much, I don't like to use so much products. I try to use the minimal because too much product, only have to use and do. So less products, less spending, and more natural look. So for that, my concealer brush, my tap, and just push that in. Just push it in for your lips. You push it in. Mind you, you're careful where all these things are going to, because you don't want it everywhere. So for my brows, yeah, still pushing in. There was no foundation on this side of my face, so you push and push and push. Yeah, I use it. Now with what I am doing, you will notice that it is blending, and it is blending into my skin, and it is giving skin. Makeup is not so. Makeup is, it's going to show that yes, you know, it is makeup, but not when you deal with what you already have. I don't like people who do too much. It can be makeup, but then it can still be you. Do you see? Yeah, it will be makeup. This one, I'm just making sure my eye goes up. Now it is going to give you the dramatic cat eye look. So that is what I am doing here. Mind you, the concealer I used is basically my skin tone. It is not way too above. I'm going to show you how to use the way too above kind of one, just for the purpose of it, you see. Yeah, so I'm using this one to cut the line of my brows, to make my eyes look way up. Sure, okay. Right, I like to leave this sometimes to set over. Do what I am doing now. Around my nose. Then now I have, my face is a little long, yeah, but then I have fat here. I've accumulated jaw from, you know, the size and all that. So but my idea is to always keep my face in its natural look and size, right? So I am careful about the placement of my concealer, bearing in mind that your concealer is going to define how light hits your face. Okay, your concealer is going to say how light hits your face, and the way light hits your face, it's going to say how big your face is. It's either going to make your face bigger or make it smaller. Okay, so do that. Now this place has more products than here, so I just start fetching from there and I'm moving to this side. Yeah. Now I'm using the way. Yeah. Now this is the right time to add liquid. If you have your liquid blush you want to use, that's fine. My dry sponge again. This time I'm gently pressing because I do not want to remove a lot of the product. The rest of my face is already dry, and I'm using the time to blend that line. Look at this line here going this way. That is what I am trying to blend on this side. So taking that line out, so it is there, the shine is there, but it is out. First you tap gently to the inner corner of your eye, then tap without respect to the other part. Yeah. About this and that. Remember, you do not want the line. Yeah, don't try that down. Yeah, you do not want the line on your forehead to also show. So if you have the line on your forehead, make sure you deal with it. Now, with the same dry brush, or I mean the same dry puff or sponge or whatever you call it, I am going to get powder. Now mind you, if you tap on this, you're going to get this amount. I do not want that amount. I dust it off so that when I put it, I have a flat powder on my face, not the entire powder debris. Not now. For this one, I am tapping all over my face. As a matter of fact, what I like to do is I just tap on the cover. I just, tap on whatever is there and do that. As you apply that like a popper, like you're saving it for something, right? Just apply that generously around your face. Now what you're doing is you're setting your foundation, your blush. If you applied blush, you're setting everything liquid on your face. All right, once you apply that, it is all over your face, right? Now I did not use if you noticed, I did not make use of liquid bronzer or contour. Not bronzer, contour. I did not make use of liquid contour, so I'm going to make use of the dry contour. That's powder contour. First I'm going in with my contour powder. I like to start with my nose this way. Now this you can do, this you can also do, but then you're not pressing it, you're not poking your nose, you're just gently putting it on whatever product you have on your nose already. You're attaching that to your under your brows, right? Yeah, you do that. Now what I like to do, because once you apply your concealer, it's going to expand that area. Anywhere you put a concealer, it's going to expand it. This is supposed to reduce it. Okay, so for me, create the shape you want. If I want a short nose, I know how to put it on. If I want a long nose, I know how to put it on. Now I just want my nose to be straight. I don't want any extra, just straight nose for today, because today I don't know, my nose is giving big. So now there is something else I will teach you, the difference between face definition and contouring. Yeah, you want to create an illusion with your products, good. So but for today we are not doing that. We are going to be doing the regular contouring. So look at my face now. For people that don't know, I have created this part to be the high part of my face. Now this is just foundation. From here down, it's just foundation. I am only just going to turn. You look at this definition here, that is where I am going to apply my contour. You see that? And now I am not bringing it down, I am not doing this, I am taking it up. Okay, so this is what you want to do, and it depends on the brush you are using. You can do this. Once you have created the demarcation here, you go on it and go upwards. Don't go below, go upwards. Now look at my face. There is a definition of this face lifted, being lifted on one side. Is an illusion rather. The same thing, I create the same illusion on this side and push up. After pushing up, I go round and round and round, but not going below the line. Now once you're doing that, you are creating this line here. You're giving yourself a jaw, you're giving yourself a defined jawline. That is why people do that. You know, some people get to take the setting powder and, you know, do that again. I don't do it. My face is already big enough for me, so I'm not going to be doing that on any of my videos. It's not going to work. I might do it just to show something, but I will not do it because that is a look I want to keep. No, I don't do it to keep that look. So now my hairline, I do that. Now I'm trying to bring more light to this area of my face, not everywhere on my face. Okay, so once you do that, remember, you don't want no harsh lines, no harsh lines at all. I want to do that too on this side. I have quite a forehead here, so you see that. Now if you realize I have brought light to, excuse me, if you realize I have brought light just on this part of my face, within that, come under here. If I want a long jaw, I'm going to dust off, put the light in the middle, and reduce my jaw. Alright, now you see that my jaw is more pronounced here. Are you seeing it? Than the other side. So you keep doing that and defining your face. Now, for some people, they like to do it. I do it when I remember, because I also like to do it, but only if I remember. If I don't remember, I don't do it. I will take a little of the dark bronzing powder, contour powder, and contour here. Yeah. Now after doing that, your face is giving you're good to go. This is still my contour power brush. Your face will be giving is good to go. You can also take that, a little of that contour powder, come on top of your lined eye and just dab a little there, just a little. Alright, because I want more definition on my eye. I want more definition. I want more depth in that area. Okay, that is just me giving free tip. But how would you know if you don't follow my video? How would you know all these hacks if you don't follow, if you don't subscribe? You need to subscribe. You need to subscribe. So you see, cat eye can be bought in the market. Just buy the right product and you have cat eye. So once that is done, and I've gotten my nose and my eye and my drama, that I can go in with my blush, depending on what blush I want to use. No, I'm not a fan of using heavy blushes. I just like neutral blush. So I go in with the blush that I imagine is perfect. Now mind you, most people like to blend their blush with their lipstick. Now look, you see this part where it joins here, meets with here, that is where your blush is going to. Right, I like to dab it in. You dab it in, you dab it in, you dab, you dab it in. For this look, most people like to use colors that are very close to their skin tone, which is good. This color I'm using, it's called Scarlet, but it's not close to my skin tone at all. It's just that I love the shade it gives. Then I mix it with my Porsche, whatever blush you want to use. Okay, yeah, I mix it with my Porsche and I do that. Yeah, some people dab it too if you want. Now I have my face looking like I did not go to a makeup school. I go in, I go right in again with either my dry brush. Oh shoot, where did I drop it? I go in, this chair is not comfortable at all. I go in with my dry brush. This time I'm not particular about the, or you go in with your triangle stuff, your triangle puff. You go in with your triangle puff, you pick up sides, you try to pick up on both sides of it. Now, why it is preferable to use angled stuff for this is this. You see that line I created, right? I want to increase it, so I will do that. And that is what I will dig also and drag along this part of my face. Alright. I am not dusting it because I really want to create an illusion there. Okay, I want it heavy illusion. So the same thing you do to the other side. You create the illusion. Okay, as straight as possible. Then you use the same edge, the second edge or the opposite edge, and create the other one. Yeah. Now I'm putting into my nose because I don't want oils on that part. Now for that is one. Then I want to use the thinnest edge. I'll press it if possible and dab on. Oops. And dab on the line, just on that line. Try not to move it around. You don't want to put it on your bronzed face already. So once you do it, otherwise let's put that on this side. Now this is the part where people do this. Like I said, I don't want that. I've tried it sometimes and it doesn't really work for me. Okay, so when I've gotten to this point, I want to finish my eye look now, because this is when I like to finish my eye look, when my other eye is settled. I go in with my shimmer. I want to put the closest eyeshadow to whatever I did on my face. I want to put it in the inner corner of my eye, just there. I want just shimmer. Let me try this one so that it can be seen by you guys. You see that? I put it also here. Now once that is done, my eyeliner. This is me giving you full details. Look, I come outside the inner corner of my eye, outside, and I do that. Okay, you see? And same thing like that I would do here. Yeah. And while you're resting your hand on your face, be sure you don't have oils. Are you seeing that blush? Because that's where it touched blush. Although that can be fixed when you're powdering your face. So once that is done, you see my inner corner of eye, I would go in with my, I use this tiny brush for my under eye lining, and that is what I will use. I go in with my contour, please. I tap my contour, dust off, come underneath my lashes, and apply that there. You see, now I'm taking away the whites from under there because it is giving me double shade. So nope, I want to clear it off. Not just your contour, you have to use the shadow you used for your crease. That is what you use down there. So you do this, and you see I've taken most of that white out. That's the powder. Then I go in with the same black that light black that I used there. I need to blend the lower lash line to the to my eyeliner. So I dab in a little black, come to this end here, and just lightly put that there. And that is because the top of my hair, the top of my brows there had black. So you do that, you look what the effect is giving to your eye. You have to understand that the effect is given to your eye. Do you like it? Yes. Is that what you want? Yes. Then you leave it. If that is not what you want, you adjust it. You keep moving until you've gotten what you want. I have big eyeballs, so I try to make my eyes closed as much as possible. Okay, that is what this is here. Then you blend that. Yeah, you blend that. Yeah. Now I'm going to put on my lashes outside. I'm going to pause it and put on my lashes and come back. Thank you. Yeah, so please remember that you always put your mascara. All right, honestly, it's easier to do it before you pop your before you put in your eyeshadow. I mean, before you put in your lash. Now, why it's better is because if you had powder on your stuff, you would have cleaned it before that. So I know some people have moved on from the traditional way of applying lip gloss, lipstick, and we have all moved, except for me, into the part of gel. I still do that this way. Just once I start going up with my brown, I can do it that it's brown or not. I like to do the brown because it gives it a little bit of transition, and the brown is actually a dark brown. So from that, I'm going with my very light concealer. No, lipstick. When that is ready, I can either go in with my brown lipstick. I have this one, can't remember where it's from, but I have it. I don't know where it's from. Oops. But I have it. It is, let me see. I don't know. But this is like a wine color. Yeah. So yeah. Yeah. So once I do that, I go back in again with my light color. Now this time I'm concentrating on the lower part, not on the upper lip. So it's lower lip. Yeah. Yeah, I want to make to be white, bigger, not the upper lip. So I'm going to put it only on the lower lip, then use the inner corner of my lip, upper lip, to blend that. All right. So now I have my lip ready. Do I like my lip? Or I go back with my black to redefine. Now the secret of using black is, if the lip you're using is not going with your skin, you have to try and line it. I'm using the end. You have to try and line it so that it just becomes a brand new shade on your face. Not, you see somebody that the lip color is not complementing their skin. This is my powder brush, and now I'm just cleaning up. If it's not complementing your skin, my sister, don't force it. You will not like it. And I am basically just dusting whatever I have on my face. I'm dusting it on all the line, all the powder I used to, basically I like my face. I am dusting the excess. Oh, the ones that have not stayed on my skin, they are all going out. So I know some people say I look like somebody. Now me, I'm even looking at the face and I'm looking like the person. But no, I'm not. So I'm going on with my powder now, my dry powder. See what I'm doing. I am not scraping. I am not doing all that. Now this powder on is, not everybody likes to put powder over their foundation. Some people say it makes it heavy. Some people, now once you can do all this and get a good look, right? Well, for me, you see my nose is already shining, and this makeup will not last a long time with the way it is going. Do you understand? So I like to use my powder to put everything together. Now this is going to hide every single thing that you failed not to, any line, any break, any, you use this. Now once you're using a good shade and you're using a good color for your face, for your skin, a shade that matches your skin totally, right, it is going to set everything and bring it together and make you look one. But if you are not using the right powder, then all this you will kill it. So be careful with the powder you use. Sometimes I'm going to give you a tip. The tip is, once you do your powder, and in one way or the other you feel like maybe your face is too bright or maybe your face is too dim, you can use your powder to actually change everything. If your face is too dark, what do? You use a brighter powder on that face. It doesn't matter what kind. Use a brighter powder that is on the same skin tone with you. It is going to help your face. If your face is too dark, maybe the foundation you used is not right, use a brighter powder and it will help. If your face is too bright, use a darker powder and it will bring you to the middle. This is just a simple secret, okay? So that is what I am doing now. I use cyan. I'm going to do one side so you compare with the other side, okay? And I'm putting it all over my skin because I want it to be one color. Can you see that? You see? Same thing on my forehead. Now this is me just dropping the powder on my face. You are not going to see any transition. It is going to feel like the light is directly in front of my face. Always directly in front of my face. And I'm going to turn off my light so that we will see what I mean by light directly in front of my face. So this I'm going to do that my face, even with my nose. You see that line? I want it to look natural, okay? I want it to look like that's how my nose came. With the highlight like that. So, with this lip, you can apply lip gloss if you want. If you do not want, you leave your face the way it is. My powder can last 2 years. If this is the way I use it, I am not scraping. No, I am not scraping my powder. I am only dabbing on both sides. Just dab and bring it on the face and put it where you want it to be. All right? Yeah. Now you can pour in your setting powder. Now, for setting powder, a tip is you spray your face. Please keep your face. Keep your face. Don't do. You're spraying your face. Keep it. Don't move it. I can spray into a line, right? And you do this, it will crease before it dries. Don't do that. You keep your face still. Then you make sure the face is dry. While you're trying to make sure the face is dry, you're conscious of the person's crease, right? Dry those places. If the person has expression lines, dry them first. The other parts will dry faster than every other part. But you see this crease, any small, it will just go. Okay? Small movement of your face, the crease will remain. So now this is my look. I've gotten to this part of my face that nothing again to do apart from just, you know, creating drama where there is no drama and increasing my drama. I go in with my powder to increase the drama on my chin. Yeah, just my powder to increase the drama on my forehead, just because I want to make sure that place all okay. If I want to increase my blush, I increase my blush, but for now this is it. Make sure you apply your powder on your neck. Make sure you apply the powder on your neck so that your face does not look different from your body. Make sure you apply that on your neck. So this is my look. Let me turn off my light and make you see what I mean by light in the middle of your face. Do you see that? This is me without any extra light. This is just light. All right, and this is how I will look when I step out. This is the way I will look when I step out. The other light I needed so that I can see clearly what I am putting on my face, since I'm using my mirror as my guide. Okay, I'm using my phone as my guide. So this is the face that everybody will see when I step out. So tell me, did I kill the look? Did I slay? Did I eat it?